Balkan Wars, it was a state that lived for 3 months in western Thrace, which was founded by mostly Muslims, especially Turks and Pomaks. The term Kuvayi Milliye is used for the first time in the western Thrace struggle. This government was not recognized by the Ottoman Empire. Greece, whose western Thrace region did not belong to it yet, was warm to such a state due to political reasons, and even handed over Alexandroupoli to this state of its own will. Bulgaria and the Ottoman Empire, on the other hand, wanted the end of this state due to political reasons. The Ottoman Empire made the last agreement with Serbia on the 13th of March 1913 regarding the Balkan War. Since the two states did not have a common border, this treaty focused mostly on the situation of the Turks living in Serbia, and the Western Thrace Provisional Government was established. However, it took 3 months. The government was formed on the 31st of August 1913. There are sources stating that the government was established by the special organization by the order of Enver Pasha in order to prevent the region from falling into the hands of the Bulgarians. 11-12 during the Second Balkan War. As a result of the Ottoman army's attack by crossing the Midi-Anez line, the region came under Turkish rule again. However, at this time, Russia got involved in the issue, and the Ottoman forces ended their forward operations after the Ottoman forces gave an ultimatum that they would declare war if they crossed the Murik River. Russia had sent the Black Sea Fleet near the Bosphorus to show the seriousness of its threat. This situation caused Great Britain to get involved in the issue. The developments in the state in the intervening period are indicated in the section of state structure. With the Treaty of Istanbul signed between the Ottoman Empire and Bulgaria on September 29, 1913, Eastern Thrace, including Edirne, was given to the Ottoman Empire. But Western Thrace was left to Bulgaria. The Western Thrace Provisional Government opposed this situation and claimed that it did not recognize the treaty. Upon these developments, Bulgaria began to build up in the region. However, at that time, the Ottoman Empire did not look at this newly established state positively due to the influence of external pressures. In addition, the political power struggle and turmoil in Istanbul had eliminated the possibility of dealing with such an independent state in Western Thrace. Thereupon, the government of Grand Vizier Seyit Halim Pasha put pressure on the Western Thrace Provisional Government, and ensured the evacuation of the region. As a matter of fact, with the Istanbul Treaty signed on September 29, 1913, the Ottoman government left Western Thrace entirely to Bulgaria. The Treaty of Athens, signed between the Ottoman Empire and Greece on the 14th of November 1913, is the treaty that brings the most responsibility to Greece in terms of the Muslim Turkish minority living in Western Thrace. Accordingly, the life, property, religion and traditions of those who remained in the lands left to Greece will be guaranteed, and these people will have the same rights as citizens of Greek origin. They will also be able to openly fulfill the requirements of their religion. 13. In addition, the Athens Treaty of 1913 is of great importance in terms of recognizing the legal personality of Muslims. At the beginning of October 1913, the Ottoman state sent Miralay Cemal Bey to the region in order for the Western Thrace independent government to stop the resistance to the Bulgarians. It melts. Thus, in the first days of August 1913, this liberation struggle, which started with high hopes in Western Thrace, ended 3 months later with a bitter disappointment at the end of October. The Turks, who formed a density in the region, and these lands, which had been under Turkish rule for centuries, were also excluded from the borders, like Macedonia. The Great Fight, which started in October 1912 and later covered the entire Balkans with the participation of Romania, ended in August 1913, in a short time like 10 months. As a result of this great fight, Greece received the largest share of the inheritance. As a result of the sharing of the 5 provinces of the Ottoman Empire in the Balkans, Thessaloniki, Manastir, Kosovo, Yanya and Shkodra, Greece, 50,000 square kilometers, land and 1,600,000 inhabitants, Serbia, 30,000 square kilometers, land and 1,200,000 inhabitants, Bulgaria, 18,000 square kilometers, land and 1 million inhabitants, Montenegro. They gained 5,000 square kilometers, land and 150,000 inhabitants. In addition, Albania declared its independence and annexed Shkodra, while other Balkan nations divided the great heritage among them and swallowed Macedonia. The Macedonian people, who were the real owners of this place, were never mentioned. Regarding the Aegean Islands, the great powers determined the following principles in London in February 1914, except for Mace. The islands occupied by Italy are in it. Except for Gökçeada and Bozcaada, the rest would stay in Greece. However, before this decision could reach a legal conclusion, World War I began. Western Thrace, whose borders were redrawn with the 1923 Treaty of Lausanne, is the region that is completely under the administration of Greece today. Since Western Thrace is considered as a bridge connecting Eastern Thrace and Western Rumelia, it has an important place in the policies of European states. The black on the flag represents the oppression in the Balkans. Green represents Islam and crescent and star is Turkish. The national anthem of the Western Thrace independent government was written by Suleiman Military Bey in Alexandroupoli. The state rejected Greek and Bulgarian postage stamps and issued its own. In the meantime, the provisional government established its organization in the whole region and formed a defense force of 30,000 people. The new administration, which declared its independence, first determined the borders of the country, hoisted the green and white flag, which is the symbol of the independent state, on the official buildings, formed an army of 29,170 people, prepared its budget, printed stamps and started the passport application. In the meantime, the Ottoman laws and regulations were accepted as they were, and the Garbi Thrace courthouse started to hear the cases. An official news agency was established by Emanuel Karasu, a Jew born in Thessaloniki. A newspaper called Mustakil Independent was published in French and Turkish.